This show is a Phonic Media production.
Today on the podcast, we're going to be talking about how nothing stays the same. Everything is always evolving. Ultimately, everything is always changing. How the devil are you? Welcome back to another instalment of Business Marriage with me, James Bird, and her,
Hayley Appleby-Burt.
Well done, that was very slick.
Wasn't it?
Let's start. What was that? It's disgusting. Got really dry lips. You know that lipstick you put on? It just like dries you out. You're like Gollum by the end of a podcast episode. Anyway, this might come up later in the podcast, actually. Today on the show, we're talking all about changing. Everything changes. Everything. Oh, hang on. I've got some music, because do you know what?
Everybody's changing and I don't feel the same. We should just have a karaoke episode.
You're not allowed, are you?
Definitely have a karaoke.
Not
episode.
allowed. Oh, actually.
But we could just sing it.
It wouldn't sound like the original.
It would definitely not.
No one from PRS or PPL would pick up on that shit. Yeah, so we're talking all about how everything changes. Everything evolves. Business, life, marriage, all that kind of stuff.
Skin,
we're talking about
face.
Skin,
all evolves.
The sagginess of your ball bag. Before we get into that, though, let's do our review of the week. Oh, this is the small business shout-out music. I've fucking lost the plot, man. Whatever. This is going to be our review of the week. So today's review, it's a very nice review, so thank you very much. If this is the person, we don't actually know who this has come from. It might be a stranger.
Oh my goodness.
They used to tell you at school that strangers was danger, but not in this case. Stranger is just friends you haven't met yet. That was weird. I hope someone makes a clip of that. Anyway, today's today's shout out. I've made it on such small fucking thing. I can't even read it.
Did what I did.
So 5 stars, bloody brilliant. I mean, it's good, isn't it?
I love it already.
So I'm listening. I'm on episode 2. This is very funny. Smiley emoji face. I have a really long drive ahead of me, and I'm going to binge listen. Fangirl in the pod already. So whoever you are, and by the way, that was from Dan LH123.
Yes.
What's your mate Danielle? What's her surname?
I reckon it might be her.
Just think of her surname.
Could be, couldn't it?
LH. Don't say her full name, obviously.
No.
Oh, there you go. So there we go.
So no, though.
So Dan LH, who left that
Whoever
review about a week ago now, I'm on episode 2. It's very funny.
Do you know though, seriously,
Thank you.
The thought that someone's driving along and listening to us on their journey
It is fun, isn't it? Yeah. We also get, by the way, like every Tuesday, we get messages from people going, "Oh, I'm so excited! It's new episode Tuesday." I'm like, how cool is that?
I love it. And I was saying to James the other day, and I was like, I'm like, not in a big headed way, but I was like, the day where I'm just like out and about, and someone comes up to me and says, "Oh my God, are you Hayley from the Business Marriage Podcast?" I've said I'm going to literally just
pee your pants.
Pee my pants. Put my arm around them and be like, "I want a picture, can I have a selfie with you?" And I'm going to take pictures, and I said I'll give him £100. Don't know why, they probably won't want £100, but I was like, I'll give him a mug. We're going to give him a mug or something. I'll just be like, it'll be like a fanfare. In fact, I might start carrying around like a sort of like confetti spray, and then if that ever happens, I'll just be like,
spray, yeah.
Boo!
Confetti spray selfie mug.
It?
Imagine it. There'll be like a.
That would actually be amazing.
Quite good. It sounds like an episode of In for a Penny with Stephen Mulhern.
Isn't it? I love it. Or Britain's Got Talent. Anyway,
there you go.
I love it. So if
thank
you do notice me out and about, come and say hi. I'll probably pee myself. I would probably pee myself.
had it happen once, and I thought I was such a big deal.
Yeah,
Someone
but
came
you
up to
still
me.
do though,
Yeah,
don't
I
you?
do, to be fair. Someone came up to me, and he was actually sat behind me, and he was like, "Excuse me, are you James Burt?" And I was like, "Yeah." He went, "Oh, I know you from your podcast." And I was like,
What, your voice?
He said, "I recognise your voice."
Oh my God, that's mad.
He was like, "You go around the world." I was like, "What?" And the people that I'm with were like, "You." Luckily, they didn't say it until we'd left. They're like, "You think you're such a fucking big deal now, didn't you?" I was walking around like Conor McGregor.
I love it.
It's kind of cool.
But it's kind of cool though, isn't it? It's like,
it must be super weird, actually.
Yeah.
To be famous, it must be like. Which I'm sure we're going to find out through this podcast.
Obviously.
Inevitable when we win the British Podcast Award.
Yeah.
Putting that out to the universe.
Love it.
Anyway, so that's our review of the week. Thank you very much, Dan
I love that.
LH.
Thank you.
And by the way, if you haven't left a review yet, please do so, because it actually really helps. And I know it's not that easy
Like
on
a proper review, not like one of them like hate reviews on YouTube, like a proper review.
Yeah, proper. Yeah, but
Go
you
on to iTunes.
You haven't got just give us 5 stars. We don't give a fuck about the actual wording of it. Just give us the 5 stars.
Oh,
yeah?
okay, we don't. don't want them to write about her.
Oh yeah, it'd be nice if they
Yeah,
actually like it.
yeah.
I'm not for, like you like do a proper review. Like you got to do some sort of fucking essay.
No, but just write
like in a
on
previous
there,
episode we
like
talk about
that.
ChatGPT. Yeah, go
I
to
know.
ChatGPT and get it to
Where are you
write a review
listening
for
to
us.
us? Tell us.
Yeah, that'd be nice,
Like
wouldn't it? Yeah, actually, if you are listening around the world,
Where?
tag us. Tag us. Do a little selfie and tag us in it
yeah.
and tell us where you are around the world.
Yeah, tell us where you're listening.
It's a lot of things we just told people to do then.
Just do whatever. Just get in touch, guys.
They might have just woken up on a random Tuesday morning and thought, I'll listen to this podcast, and I got a list of
now we're
fucking
like
a to-do list.
Actually begging.
Just a bit beggy.
Oh,
isn't it?
God.
A bit beggy.
Anyway, today we decided that we're going to talk about
Changes, because there's a lot of things that
Turn and face the strange.
changes.
So we were just talking about the other day, like it's an important lesson. Yeah, in life, things change, obviously. We get older as we move through life.
So insightful
No, but things
today.
change, don't it? Like our friendships group might change.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Ours has changed a lot in the last few years, isn't
Well,
it?
no, but you
Fucking
think,
don't
like,
see anybody
I
anymore.
always think, like,
You're
even
my only friend.
Even our evolution, you think when we met, we're going to go into that again, but when we met, you're like young, free, single, you're going abroad, you don't have any major...
Fun.
You're just having fun, aren't you? You don't have any major commitments or responsibility. Then you get together. Then that first step is like, oh, you start renting a house or like a flat, and that's like, oh God, now you're starting to pay bills. Then you kind of going out and getting careers. Then you become like the career people. Then you take it one step further. Then you might throw some children in the mix or marriage, and it's like your life just suddenly changes, constantly changes, and you just adapt, don't you? We've always adapted quite well to situations that have changed, but we were saying the other day, like in business, we all, I think, have this vision of like where you're trying to get to, and when I get to that, it will be so easy. It will be so systemized. I'll have all my processes in place. My team will know exactly what they're doing. Everything will be delegated right. You'll have this consistent lead generation and sales process, and you'll have clients that stay with you forever. And the reality is that none of that happens. Everything changes.
Yeah.
So like just when you think it's all getting to that point where everything's really processed, really streamlined, everything feels really comfortable, is that the right word? Something changed. Like for you, example, you've got a member of your team who's leaving, which is
This might be the last episode he
I know.
edits.
Oh, and
Shout out to Alex.
Yeah,
Let's
we
shout
love
him
you,
out.
Alex.
Alex has been, well, we don't, I used to love him, now I just
yeah,
like him.
now we hate you. No, I
I
don't really
hate
hate
you.
you. But, no, but it's an interesting thing because you're so happy for him because he's going on to do almost
Exactly
like
what
a
he should
dream
do.
job.
Yeah, he's such a talented
who
lad.
are, I hate using the word entrepreneurs, but seeing people like go after like that passion is just something that we're
Yeah, yeah.
massively for. So on one hand, you're like, we're super happy for him. You are obviously, and all your guys, but obviously it is. As a business, it's like, holy shit, like all of a sudden you get so used to that person being there and filling
Yeah.
that role that actually everything's changing again, isn't
Yeah.
it? And it makes you reevaluate everything, where you're at. But yeah, just like constant change. Like for me, we were saying like I've kind of added some new offerings into my business, so I'm almost like changing the direction.
Guys,
or, like,
you know what time it is.
No, I'm not
Guys, you
doing
know what
that.
time it is.
I
It's
wasn't
time for a
doing
little...
that. I'm not saying anything.
Have you got an offering that you would like bringing to the marketplace? Maybe you're a coach, consultant, mentor, or expert. Maybe you need to get your marketplace to know more about you. Maybe you need to be an authority or a thought leader in your space. If so, you need consistent organic content. The place to go is Orange Lamb. OrangeLamb.co.uk. It's the only place where we can help you to stand out in your motherfucking field. This podcast is brought to you by Hayley Appleby Burt and her fucking Orange Lambs.
My orange lambs. Hello.
My good
Is that what
God.
you're calling them now? My
Yeah.
orange lambs. It's like my orange lambs.
They'd be like, what's
By the way, that was not sign language.
Pair
I do
of
not
old
know sign
mutton.
language. Pair of old mutton. Excuse me.
Lambs are like young and fresh.
Excuse me.
They're mutton.
Anyway, I wasn't trying to promote my business. I was just
happened accidentally.
saying
Yeah.
that again, everything changes, and all of a sudden, like go back a few months, I thought I know this. Why are you laughing?
Because I'm waiting for my next opportunity to do a fake sales pitch.
So annoying. Can I
Sorry.
talk?
Yes.
I was saying a couple of months back, I thought I knew exactly my two services. This is what I'm doing now. It's changed and it's made me go, oh my God, this is such an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Like I can see so much more
See,
potential.
this is the thing, right? that change can feel unsettling and change can feel like really... People fear change, don't they? Because people fear the unknown. But actually, it gives you an opportunity. Like you say, your offering that you were doing before was good, but it was it was great for the client, but it's so time consuming for you. Whereas now you focus on the bit, and we talked about this in a previous episode, so I won't go on about it too much. But now you're acting in your zone of genius the entire time. It's like, oh, that's amazing. But you wouldn't have got to that if you hadn't proactively chased change. And on the flip side, you mentioned a minute ago, Alex leaving. I'm not crying, you're crying. It's a smoke in it. But you mentioned that Alex is going. That's given us a great opportunity. I'm just so pleased with it. But it's actually given us a good opportunity to go, right, okay, what are our systems and processes? And it wasn't until he said he was going, I was like, right, we need to work out exactly everything that he does. Because he's come in, and again, change and evolution. He came in to do one job, and it sort of morphed into another job accidentally. He kind of like filled a role that we really needed. It wasn't his core competency, but he learnt it, and it's turned out to be fucking amazing at it. Content creation, video creation, which then ended up him getting this next level job because of the skill set he's learned. So it's worked out for him and for us, which is great. But when I was sitting down with the team going, right, what is it that Alex does? I've worked out that the process that we're doing in the agency is like massively inefficient. Not because of the people, but because of the process. So I'll give you an example. So Alex is listening to client content and he's picking out the clips, and he's so fast at turning the work around. He's just so good. He's just so good. But he will basically go through and listen to, say, 40% of a podcast episode, downloads it, got a great little system. And again, he made this up himself, transcribes it all, gets a summary from Otter. What's that? Like an old typewriter. So he downloads it all. He downloads the episode, puts it into Otter. Otter gives you a summary and shows you the most frequent words. Wake up! I'm telling you something interesting. He then listens to it, so he gets like a taster of what the podcast's all about, and then he makes the clips and the marketing assets from that. But he's probably listening or consuming 40% of the content. But then Sam, who's our audio wizard and video guy, he has to, because obviously someone has to listen to the whole thing. He's then listening to the whole thing. So now he's listened to 100% of the content.
Right, and he's 40%.
And he's listened to 40% of it, but I was like...
could say 40% of time.
Well, not 40%, because he's still got to do the fucking work, hasn't he? Be serious. But realistically, the way that it should be done, and the way that it was getting done to start with, and don't get me wrong, it's been tweaked and changed because we got so busy, because we had so many clients, because we're so good. If you like a podcast, you should go to phonic.media. That's phonic, phonic.media. All of your content needs handled. There you go.
Keep winking at the camera.
Yeah, stop doing that. Stop doing that. The only person who's seeing that is poor Alex. He's just so talented. But anyway, so in that instance there, so Sam's got to listen to the whole podcast. Alex has to listen to 40% of it. Now it's 140% of our usage of our time, right? Whereas actually, the way that it should work, because Sam listens to it first, leaves timestamps for the main pieces of the content, then Alex only has to consume 5%. We're saying 35%.
Like I'm literally listening to algebra. This is so confusing.
Listen to it carefully, okay?
Be more, I need you to go through it again, please.
Sam has to listen to 100%.
Oh my God, is Alex going to do one of those like conundrums of...
Alex would only have to listen to the very specific timestamps that Sam has created, therefore creating a content consumption level of 5%. Therefore, across two people, we could be so efficient that only 105% of client content needs to be consumed from a 200% potential.
James.
So that is why it was inefficient.
You got a bit of spit or something on your... Come here. So annoying.
Yeah.
It's a boring story.
But I don't think you're understanding it.
Move on.
Sorry, are we spending more time talking about me and my issues? God forbid that the Hayley show doesn't focus on Hayley and all of Hayley's brilliance for 5 minutes.
Here's a little secret insight to anyone watching on YouTube. If you see me doing this, that's me. Code for James.
I've never seen you do that.
If I do that, it
do you
means
do that?
You're fucking boring.
Do you actually do that? Have you actually ever done that?
If I'm
I've never noticed.
Or if I kick you under the table, it's like...
Oh, I thought you were playing footsie. I thought you were trying to find my bits. I was like,
you're boring the shit out of me, which means you're boring the shit out of the listener.
You're getting very good at that singular listener thing. Well done.
I know.
Anyway, but from going through the process, you actually go, right, we can change things here. We can make things better. Because Sam... No, but the other thing was, right, because Alex is going and because things are going to have to change a little bit, it means I was like, well, actually, we need to make sure that everyone else is happy.
Yeah.
So I had the conversation with him. I did some detective work to find out how satisfied everybody was in their role. No one was. So that was good.
No.
Found out, no. But no one's been utilised to their full extent because we've got.
They're fucking epic.
Yeah, and they can do so much more than because we got slammed with work because
But
we're
also,
so fucking
I
brilliant.
don't know if it's like, like you were talking about your tiny feet, but it's almost like your tiny hands as well. It's just almost like you just keep everything to yourself.
Well, like a little shitty
It's like
T-Rex.
these little hands that just like, I just think you're so used to working on your own.
Yes.
That.
Lone wolf.
But that you actually think you're doing. Not like a nice thing, 'cause you're not doing it like that, but you think it's a good thing that you're almost like
100%. We had this
not
conversation yesterday.
piling it on
Yeah.
them, and that you're keeping it to yourself. But actually, what's happening is you're getting overworked and say stressed out. You can't then spend time doing the things you should be doing, and then your team is sat there going, "Hello, hello,
Yeah.
do you see me? Do you see how great I am?"
Yeah.
So change, ultimately, change. Although it might feel overwhelming and you're scared of it, it can actually lead to great things. I mean, I think we need to talk about your icon because, after all, what we're wearing today, we're going to have to come on to this. So, you know, this is about someone who, I only know this through what James tells me, by the way, but I mean, this person's a massive role model in your life and he took change to the extreme. He changed his life to be the way that he wanted to.
Yeah.
I think we need a shout out.
We do need a shout
Who's your icon, James?
My icon is Rob Dyrdek. As you can see here on my T-shirt, Rob Dyrdek is my icon. I didn't make this T-shirt myself, so
No,
we
I
have
love
to
it.
we have to have a further shout out. So
Yes.
our Uncle Ian,
Yeah, this is brilliant. So we went round there last weekend and they're massive, him and my Aunt Linda are massive fans of the show.
I would say supporters. Like
No, they love it. They love it.
yeah, but
And-
that's because they love us.
No, but they love it.
They
love
support-
it.
okay.
And he just came out with these 2 T-shirts and said, "Here you go." And oh
I
my
was pissing
God, we
myself
could not stop
laughing.
laughing. So
It was
James
so-
is, not sure
so
if you can
good.
see it on camera, says, "Rob Dyrdek is my inspiration." Now, if you've listened to every podcast,
Yeah.
Rob Dyrdek, I don't even really know who he is. No offence, Rob Dyrdek. If you're listening, you're probably not.
How do you not know who he is?
Well, I know
the amount
through
of
you.
times, yeah.
But it's like, oh my God.
you not even looked
you're
him
like
up?
fanboying. I mean, I've seen his website. I remember you showing me before.
I need a website
But
like
you
that.
just go on and on and on.
'Cause he's
about
amazing.
Rob Dyrdek, to the point where it's like, oh my fucking God. And it's clearly
bag on about
true
it.
because this T-shirt is representation of how much you talk about it.
So one of
yours
our
says-
listeners basically has heard me talk about Rob Dyrdek so much he made us a branded T-shirt.
which says
Our
Rob
Uncle
Dyrdek
Ian.
is my inspiration, and mine says Rob Dyrdek FFS. For fuck's sake. Because that's pretty much how I feel every time James talks about Rob Dyrdek. So
Rob Dyrdek.
thank you.
But
we
again,
are loving
positive
it. Look at
change.
that. And I think, do you know what? Actually, on that
Oh,
note,
okay.
it
I
does
wasn't
link
expected.
in-
I wasn't
it does
expecting
link
it.
in quite nicely.
It does.
As we're talking about these amazing T-shirts.
And Linda and Ian.
Yeah.
I need to call them Leon.
Leon. That's what Jules says, isn't it? Leon.
Leon.
Leon. Here we
So
go.
here we go. Who's a mug? Who's a mug? Have you been a mug?
Oh, just one time.
Oh, okay, we were doing it twice, sorry. Who's a mug? Who's a mug? Have you been a mug? Who's a mug? Who's a mug? Have you been a mug? We can't not do it.
Anymore.
Okay. Someone's been a mug.
Anyway.
Someone's been a mug, and they're going to win. motherflipping mug.
A double mug.
Double mug.
This is an interesting situation because this isn't someone that has written in.
No.
It's not someone that has sent an audio.
No.
It is someone that we were live.
We witnessed it.
We witnessed
the
in
mugginess.
their presence. So it's going to link into the next thing as well, to be fair. So
Yes.
we are sat eating lunch in the most amazing fish and chip shop.
We'll talk about that.
We'll come on to that. We're sat there, our food arrives. And then, it comes out all presented nicely. You've got your fish and your chips, and there's a little wedge of lemon. So Ian decides that he's going to squeeze the lemon across his fish, and it went straight into Linda's eye.
Yes. What a mug.
And Linda couldn't see. She was sat like that. And do you know what Ian did? You know what he did?
What?
Just carried on eating.
He did carry on
He
eating.
wanted dinner to get cold.
What an absolute
What a mug.
What a mug.
I feel kind of bad calling
He's been a mug.
calling my uncle a mug, but
He's been a mug though, isn't he?
You are a mug.
I've got to say, when we went down to see Linda and Ian,
Yes.
I knew that they listened to the podcast
Yeah.
because they'd mentioned it before.
Yeah.
But they listen, God love them.
Oh my God, they're
on
like
a Tuesday night, that's what they do
They
together.
watch
They,
it.
they watch it on YouTube. They made your mum and dad watch it on
I know.
YouTube, didn't they? Because your mum and dad were down there as well.
My mum was like, oh, I love it. I like listening, but I think watching is even better.
But I thought, is that your mum talks?
Yeah, watching even better.
It's actually quite an accurate description, to be fair. But they were like such genuine fans.
And as we were walking along, do you remember? And Ian's going, small business.
It's like he's doing
Small
the jingles.
business.
Oh, it's
Brilliant.
just absolutely brilliant.
So
but then he didn't do it intentionally. He's like, I want a mug. I was like, we've got to do something muggy.
And
He
it was
didn't-
like,
he just
oh my
didn't
God, that is
intend
so
it.
muggy. So he squirted lemon in Linda's eye. She
Pretty
couldn't
muggy.
see.
Pretty muggy.
And then rather than being like, are you okay? Just carry on eating.
Well muggy.
What a mug.
Let's let him have another jingle. Who's a mug? Who's a mug? He's been a mug. Who's a mug? Who's a mug? Oh. He's been a mug. He's been a right old mug.
So do we give Linda one as well, though, just for being a supporter of the mugginess?
Well, she doesn't really deserve it.
I mean, to be
by
fair,
rights, but
no offence, Linda, but she normally does quite a lot of muggy things on a daily basis, but in
Yeah,
like
to
a
be
nice way.
oh my good God.
What?
You talk about you saying how excited you'd be if someone like came up to you in the street
Yeah.
and like
Oh
recognised
my God,
you.
like celebrities.
Linda, you can't walk down the street for more than 5 minutes and
Absolute celebrities where they
there's
live.
there's people stopping her, she's stopping other people. That's my friend, this is my
Yeah.
friend. The local council are out drumming up support for the local elections.
love
She's like,
it.
this is my mate.
I love it. I think we should give them both
She
a mug.
does dancing on the beach.
I know.
Oh, I flipping love
Should we give them
Linda
both a mug?
Let's give them both a mug.
Both want a mug.
Let's give them a mug. I
But
think
you
they
have to
deserve
send us
it.
a picture of you with your mugs.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure they will. While we're here, though, and while we're talking about an amazing day out, it ties into smart mother flipping business. It's time for a small business shout out. This is the
So,
part of the podcast where every
honestly-
single week we shout out an amazing small business that we've experienced. Maybe we've eaten there, drunk there, just had their product or service. We've shouted out some amazing places before: coffee shops, tech recycling companies.
James has
Basically,
done some amazing ones of places near where he works.
oh yeah, there was that one where I did with Zero.
Yeah,
I
we
basically
won't
said,
go there.
don't go there because you're going to get stabbed or end up in a drug
Didn't
deal.
need to say it again. But
Didn't-
basically,
didn't.
we went for a day out in a town called Bexhill-on-Sea.
Oh, it's
It was
bloody lovely.
Absolutely
It's
beautiful.
the home of British motoring.
And we wanted fish and chips, as you do at the seaside, okay?
Standard.
So in the high street, there was a fish and chip shop. Now, I'm going to be honest, it's like your typical old-fashioned fish and chip shop, isn't it? It's probably been there for years and years and years.
Yeah.
So we went in and we...
It doesn't look the most appealing from outside.
No,
let's
but
be,
it's
let's be
like,
honest
you know,
but kind.
it's fish and chips. You know what
It is
you
what
get.
it is.
So we went and sat down, and I absolutely fell off my seat because they do gluten free. And to get gluten free fish and chips, if you're gluten free, you will understand that there's simple wins in life, and that is one of them.
Yeah.
So we had fish and
Because
chips.
some fish and chip restaurants do it, but you have to like
Yeah.
order it a day before, or
No.
they only do it on a certain day of the week. This
They
is
were
like any time.
Yeah, no, we do it.
gluten-free.
And honestly, it was the nicest fish and chips.
It was delicious.
The chips were just amazing. Everything about it. And the customer service, they were so friendly. They were so like welcoming.
You're not even told them the name of it.
And the name is Marino's Fish and Chip Shop in
Yes.
Bexhill. So if you are in Bexhill and you're looking for fish and chips, make sure you check them out. They're in the high street, aren't they? So in one of the side streets on the high street.
Yeah.
But honestly, it is,
Delicious.
I'm going to say, one of the best fish and chips I've ever had.
Yeah,
and
it was
especially if you're
absolutely-
gluten-free as well. Like, definitely go there. It was amazing.
The best part about it as well is your dad paid. So it's amazing fish and chips. That was free.
Even better.
That won't happen every time you go. There's not
No.
going to be a random guy called
My
Barry
dad
who's just going to
won't.
buy
My
your
dad
fish
won't
and
do
chips.
that.
He won't buy your fish and chips
So
every
that
time.
is our
Small business.
business. Shout out.
Small business shout out. If you are ever in Bexhill, go down there. Marino's, just near the Delaware Pier thing.
Yeah.
Bexhill, by the way, if you're listening from abroad, or even if you're listening in the UK,
It's a beautiful place.
it's such a lovely area, isn't
Lovely.
it, Bexhill?
Well,
We went
I-
down there. We ended up like scooting, skating, and going on
Parking,
bikes. We went to
museuming.
a museum, a park. The kids got in the sea.
We got it all.
Louis did some Wim Hof breathing in the cold ocean.
George just got naked in
George
the
got
sea.
naked. Thought it was absolutely
Oh,
hilarious.
God.
I was crying, I'm so cold.
And
I
then
was like, "I did
Louis
tell
couldn't
you."
walk on the pebbles and was like, "Oh, mummy, carry me." So then I was like soaking wet. I was like, "I ain't carrying you," and you were like, "Don't be horrible." And I was like, "Oh, am I a horrible parent? I had to
Yes.
carry him."
So you
anyway,
did, didn't you?
Right, James.
It was a lovely day out, though. So,
It
yeah,
was.
if you go down to Bexhill. It's actually the first place there's ever a British Grand Prix
Really?
on the beachfront. Yeah.
because you read things and learn, whereas I just walk around.
Yeah, but what
like,
I don't
oblivious.
understand, we went to a museum and you come out somehow
Because
knowing
I
less
just
than you
don't
knew when you
need to
went
know
in.
it all.
Why not?
Because why do I need to know it all? I look around and go, "This
So
is
let's
cool,
say, for
that's
example, we go to a
interesting."
quiz one day, and the first quiz question is for 50 bonus points here
Yep.
to win. Where was the first ever British Grand Prix held?
Bexhill.
Bexhill-on-Sea.
You just fucking told me. So I've
What
learned it
year?
there. There you
What
go.
year? Correct.
1953.
Unlikely. The first one ever.
64.
Fucking hell. The first ever British Grand Prix.
I don't know.
1902. How do I know that? Because I read stuff.
I don't give a shit. I actually don't. I learn what I need to know.
How do you know what you need until you need it, though? At which
I don't
point?
need that. I don't need that. I can tell right now I do not need that information.
Fine. Okay. Anyway, it's time for our
special segment.
And today, because we talk about changes, things will evolve. There's the benefits of evolution, but sometimes, not all change is beneficial.
So I just want to say, on our very first episode, we did a segment called 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yes.
And it got a very good response. So
Ian actually called us out on it, didn't he, again?
We only did, he said you didn't do 10.
Didn't finish.
We did 5 each. And today we are going to do...
Everything changes but you.
Not everything changes but you. 10 things I hate about you. 10 things I hate about you. Nice harmony.
Oh,
That was good, wasn't
I
it?
wasn't harmonising.
3,
Just saying
2, 1. 10 things I hate about you.
No, not hate, change.
Oh, I said hate.
One more time.
10 things I change about you. Fuck it, we get the point. Okay.
So we've
you
got
ready?
10 things, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, we've got what? Who's going first? So Jane started
See
with
no
5.
changes.
I was like, I only had 5 written down. I went, we'll do 5. I went, no, we've got to do 10. He went, I'll just do 5, it's quicker. I went, no, it's all right. It's not going to be hard to think of more. And literally within about 10 seconds, I was like,
I've got 10, it'll be well easy.
I love it.
That's a little bit
Are we having
insulting.
an underpin? Shall I go first?
Yeah.
So what should I do? Just read all 10 and then you'll read all your 10 out?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this
Let's
is
do
10
this.
things.
10 things I'd change about you,
Am
James
I allowed to like justify? Can I?
I will pause after each one.
Okay. So
Okay.
if I don't agree with you, I can let you know. Yeah.
Yeah, don't care though.
Okay. So sorry, I pressed the wrong button. 10 things I would change about you. Go for it.
Number 1. The
Yeah.
way you shake the washing when you hang it out, it really annoys me.
What on earth could annoy you
I
about
used to,
shaking the washing?
Vigorously shake the
you
washing.
know why?
I'll be sat in here and it's like all I hear. You must do it about 7 times for one item.
Right, can we just take a second here that Hayley's one of her 10 biggest issues is how I end up putting her washing out for her.
Yeah, it just annoys me the way you
Do
shake
you know why
it.
I do it? I only do it because your mum told me that. Have you ever seen your mum put out washing?
If you saw how
Honestly,
I put
she's
out
like
my washing, to be
she's like
fair, I
a
literally
whip
get
crack.
it out, creased up and just go like that. It's terrible.
Lackluster.
But it annoys
Anyway,
me.
go on
I
then.
don't know why it just annoys
Fine.
me. When you go from 0 to beast mode and everyone has to get on board with it. So like this week, James has decided to do this. What is it?
75 hard.
Fuck me. So all of a sudden, whereas like we don't see each other anyway, now he has to do 2 sessions of like 45-minute workouts a day.
Oh.
Okay, he can't eat any refined sugar. He's got to eat super healthy. Like, I support it. That's fine. But all of a sudden, it's like the whole household has to be aware of it. So, like this morning, when the kids are like wanting his attention, he's sat doing fucking Pilates on the rug and getting pissed off because the kids keep following him.
Because I kept
And
moving.
then-
I went, what? They were there, so
I'm
I went
just
there.
saying,
They went
they
there,
can't-
so I went there.
He'd get in at like 8:30 at night and then be like, oh, I've got to go out now for an hour because I've got to go and do a walk. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. But it's just like everyone. And if you say anything, then you're not being supportive.
It's only for 75
I'm moving
days.
on. Number 3,
Fine.
how you don't listen. Like how you just don't listen. Like when I say, I don't know, you just don't listen.
Right, can I defend that point?
Go on then.
So your brain can only absorb 7 plus or minus 2 pieces of information at any given time, right?
Right,
So
exactly.
let's say between 5 and 9 pieces of information at any given time. You talk so fucking much that if I absorbed and retained everything that you told me in a day, my head would explode like a piece of popping candy. Be like, pfft.
Yeah.
I
That's why
just
I
couldn't do
don't
it.
need to retain information like when the fucking first Grand Prix was held in
1902.
Bexhill in 1902 because it's just
you know how
cognitive
fast he went?
space. I don't care.
Fine. Go on.
Number 4.
I will give you that because I don't always
Number
listen.
4.
Yeah.
Something I'll change. How I have to give you exact information, like if you're going to the shops or taking the rubbish out. So literally the rubbish, it's 2 weekly cycles.
Oh, this is bollocks. I've done
No,
this once. I've done this once.
It's either plastic one week, paper the next. Plastic, paper. And with the paper...
When does the general refuse
with
go
the
out then?
paper
When does the general one go out?
goes the
Smarts?
general one
Okay.
and the food one. So I say
Does
to
food go out every
James,
time, or
he's like,
every
what
fortnight?
goes out? And I say, oh, it's like the normal bins, etc. He doesn't put the paper out because I hadn't specifically said, but I just assume that you knew. And it's like when I say, oh, can you go to the shops and like get
Again,
a few
another thing.
things,
I don't know if
it'll
anyone's
be
noticed
like,
that. Yeah.
It'd be like he get like a specific thing. He won't. think
That's
to
how you
go,
shop.
Oh, is there anything I can contribute or I can think of we might need? And then he'd get back and he'd be like, have you got any like chicken or have you got any of this? I don't know. You just been to the fucking shop. Anyway.
But I shop. You give me instructions, and I follow the instructions. I'm very well behaved. All right.
Yeah. Moving on.
So there's
Okay.
two things there. Like, I don't go into the shop exactly correctly
Moving
for
on.
you. I don't put
Moving
your
on.
bins up for you exactly correctly for you. I don't put your washing out exactly how you'd like it.
Next thing.
I'm
Something
like
I'd change about you.
Go on.
Having a high garlic based lunch. And then when we go to bed, like turning into me. Like, do not face me in bed.
Well, why
Especially when you've had garlic.
don't you face the other way? Okay.
Just don't face me.
But I like to
No,
lie
you
that
don't.
way.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
I normally
You
sleep on my
smell
other side.
Of garlic.
These are
Something I'd
ridiculous.
change about you.
Go on.
You're awful harmonising. Awful.
Like
we could be good.
Absolutely
we could be
refute
good.
that.
We
right.
could be good.
Ready?
But it's just what
Take
we're
that.
singing.
Take that. 3, 2, 1. 10 things I hate. Oh, sorry. Ready? 3, 2, 1. 10 things I change about you.
Awful. If you thought that was good.
I thought it was decent.
Oh, James.
I went up
so
the- I went up the
bad.
scale.
It's like, ugh. Okay, next one. I've got 3 more. No,
Come
4.
on then.
Next
fucking
one.
hell. How many have you done?
Like
this
a
is more.
10.
This is even more
You know
than
when
10.
you know, a Kindle is supposed to be like with a backlit Kindle so that you can read it discreetly. Like, for some reason, James's backlit Kindle is like a fucking floodlight in the bedroom. Change it.
Because I have it on,
Change it.
so I can
Change it.
turn the
Change it.
turn the light off so you
Change
can go to
it.
sleep. I basically live my life just to make your existence a little bit better.
Here's another thing.
All you do is
want
moan
to-
about
This
it.
is
Go
more
on
just
then.
things that annoy me, but it's changed.
Fine.
I want you to change how excited you get at the thought of having an afternoon nap on a Saturday.
I love
Yeah, but
an
you get so
afternoon nap. I love it.
And he loves like the kids. He put them a shit film and like so that they have to sit there and he'll be like, oh, and you can see his face all smug like with his blanket, like, oh, it's just no, so smug. Okay, nodding dog dance.
Flipping, got to take Louis
Fucking
to.
hate the nodding dog dance.
Do you want me to give an example of it? Do you think it needs an
I
example?
don't know. It just brings back the most horrific memories of us getting together. To be fair. If you're
Like it?
watching on YouTube, it absolutely makes me cringe. It's just so. It just
it's
links
called a
into
negative
how uncool
anchor.
you are. Do you know what I mean? I just see you in a nightclub when we first met. You were wearing a bomber jacket, like this massive black bomber jacket,
yeah.
and you were so drunk, and you
Yeah.
just stood. I'll never forget in the middle of the dance floor, with this light on you, and you're just going. I'm like,
That is actually
I
so
actually
accurate.
hate it.
Oh, so
Hate
accurate.
it. Okay, the last one.
My drunk
Something
dancing
I
is
would
not the
change
best.
about you:
Go on.
road rage.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Honestly, like the wheel spin when the kids have been a bit of a dick, get in the car. You know what I mean? They're like
It's not really a wheel
speeding up
spin,
when
I
you
just-
know someone's about to cut you up at a roundabout, get you speed up. Like,
Yeah,
why?
don't cut me out.
Fucking annoys me, but you know that they're going to do it. You can see when people are going to
this
cut
is,
you up.
This is panning
Anyway,
out so
that's
well
it.
for my collections. That's all of it, is there?
Play the jingle. 10 things
Eh,
I change about
Anything you like about me, or just know that? Oh, I like.
We're not doing I like, just doing changing.
Okay. Did you know that this band is called Change?
It's got you written all over it.
Oh, I
isn't it?
love that
It's
sort of
like
music.
mid.
I hate it.
Come
I hate
then.
it. Anyway, they're
Let's
called
do it.
Change, so I thought I'd play it.
Let's do it.
Ready? 10 things I hate about you.
No, change.
Oh. 10 things I change about you.
Slash hate.
Number 1. I need some music.
Am I going to get annoyed? Is the snake coming out?
Oh, here she goes. the
Get ready,
snake.
Alex.
No, I
The
don't, I
snake's
don't,
coming
I don't,
out,
I
or
don't
the
reckon.
claws.
I don't reckon this is going to be I don't think this is going to be snaky. You ready? Number 1. Picking your head. I fucking hate
No,
it.
I've actually got a. There's a medical
You've got a bald
thing.
patch.
I've actually got a bald patch where I kept picking something on my head.
It's just weird.
pretty
So
rare.
we went on holiday recently, and because we went with your mum and dad, and there was 6 of us,
Yeah.
we had to take 2 cars.
Yeah, and you were
so
with the kids.
I would,
Okay.
every single fucking journey. But the point of it is, every time I'd either be in front of you or behind you. If I was behind you, I could just see like 2 little heads
Yeah.
at the back of the seats, and just that whole
Yeah.
time. If I'm sitting in
Anyway.
the traffic, I'm like looking in the rearview mirror, and she's picking your fucking head. Stop picking your
No,
head!
I'm gonna
You make
put-
yourself bald.
Might pick my brain out.
Wouldn't take long, would it? Oh, did it take it there? Oh, bitchy. What?
Bitch mode.
Number 2, asking... What was that? I've got to have a bit of the music before. Number 2, asking stupid questions when you're just seeking validation of an answer that you've already chosen.
Yeah, I do that.
You do that
Yeah.
about pretty much everything.
Yeah, I'm terrible. I have to just.
I'm going to go to the shop tomorrow. Do you think I should go to the shop? I'm going to go to the shop tomorrow. I'm just going to do it in the morning. Yeah, no, I'm just.
I know,
Shall I do it in the
I have to
morning?
talk through
I'm just going to do it.
everything, don't I?
Yeah, you literally do. Like verbal diarrhea. Anyway, there you go. Number 3, your awful taste in films.
No.
They're
although-
just dog shit.
Yeah.
They're just dog shit. And the worst thing is...
Hang on a minute. You started watching one with Jason Statham after your
That
man
was
crush came out. We
terrible.
actually turned it off. 'cause It was
I couldn't
just
believe
so
it.
bad.
It was horrific.
But yeah, no,
It was so bad.
I think it's just my.
No, I'm not looking for an
genre.
opinion. It's just shit.
Whatever.
The other thing about your film situation, other thing, is that if they are, okay, number 1, they're shit. The second thing is you watch the same thing again and again and again. There's like a plethora
Always.
of content. Like, I'm going to watch Zac Efron again. I'm going to watch that one where he's like a soldier guy
Lovely
back
one.
and like his mate who was his best friend who got shot and then he doesn't want to fall in love with his wife but he does. I'm like, oh, fuck off. This nonsense again.
Love it. Makes me feel good. It takes me away from this.
Dog shit.
Takes me to a place of escapism.
Number 4. You mentioned my road rage. I'm going to, I'll see your road rage and I'll raise you backseat driving. You're not a very good driver.
Oh, fuck off.
But my God, you talk a good game.
I am a good driver.
Since you're doing 37. 37, do you think you should slow down? 37. You're doing 81. How fast are you going?
Yeah. Don't do it.
Backseat driver.
Be safe.
I don't need you telling me how to drive.
You do.
I just don't.
You do.
Comes from the person who crashed our car because the sensor was going off, but you didn't hear it because you're too busy fucking talking. Anyway, backseat driving. Number 5, how you take your socks off at bedtime. I hate it. So she does this thing. Instead of bending over, lazy bastard, instead of bending over, she like scrapes her feet on the floor so the socks come off. I hate
Louis
it.
does it as well.
I know, it's so annoying.
You get really annoyed.
And there's like a second part of that, which leads into bedtime as well, because you're always taking the socks off at bedtime. The other thing you've started doing recently, which I've noticed because I'm getting up all the time for George, because I'm his primary caregiver at night time, because you have got intentional deafness at night. Pillows on the floor. So when I put my when I take my pillows, which I didn't want in the first place, there's fucking pillows everywhere in this house. It's just like
Everywhere.
one giant pillow.
There is so many pillows. It's almost
So we
like
take them off
suffocating.
the bed, and
Yeah.
I put them on the side.
Oh.
Talk about the way because
Yeah.
I need to get up in the night. You just throw them on the fucking floor. So in the middle of the night, we'll have to jump up to either go to the toilet or to look after our children.
Twice
You
in
just
how long?
you just strewn your
make it like
pillows.
you're getting up all the time.
It's like an assault course in the dark.
Do you know what?
Stop
if
it.
I get into bed and your pillows are there, so I just like throw them off.
Yeah, but they're not even mine. I'm talking about your side. I stack mine to the side. It's so annoying. Anyway, whichever number this is, digging your feet into me on the sofa.
Oh, you love it.
I don't love it. I hate it.
All right, I won't
Dig
do
your
it.
feet into me. It's horrible. Dry, cold feet. It's like digging in. You're like, oh, I just like to be. This is the thing. I just like to be close to you. I just like to be close to you. No, you don't. You just want to go and
You should
fucking
give it all
sleep.
this,
You
like,
dig
I'm
it.
not affectionate, and it's like you just don't want the.
But this is the
affection
thing.
off
This is
me.
the thing. You think that's affection? You're not. You're using me for warmth. I'm a utility to you. It's not affection. It's utility. Anyway, number 8 or 7, whatever this is. How deeply you sleep. You honestly, I genuinely think that the fire alarm could go off, the house could fall down, there could be a bomb
I
next
think I had
door,
concussion last night.
and
I
you
whacked my
sleep
head.
so deeply. Like at night time, you hear crying.
I hear it.
Oh, you just choose to ignore it.
Yeah.
Because people are like, oh yeah, mothers have got like a sixth sense. So when the baby cries, they just always know. I'm
just
like, this
think-
fucking mother doesn't.
He hadn't seen you last night, so it was like a bonus.
Oh yeah, winner, great. Let's get them hyped up because Daddy's home at 1:30 in the morning. He's like, I want to go
Exactly.
downstairs. Anyway,
Plus, you
next
don't mind sleeping on a cold floor, so
I've
I
literally
do.
the last 2 nights I've been lying there, cold, shriveled up.
We're doing that again. I was cold. I was.
Number 8, how defensive you get about exercise. So look, she gets so annoyed. It's
I
hilarious.
said this morning. You should do this. You should do this Pilates. It's really good. You should do Pilates.
Do you know why though?
You should do Pilates.
Do you know why though? Do you know
want
why
me
though?
to live a long and
Because I want you
happy
to live a
life.
long and happy life. And your sedentary lifestyle and your shit little gluten-free biscuit diet means you're going to die early.
Fucking gluten-free biscuit.
You're going to die early. You're going to leave me widowed, and you're going to leave your children with just an angry little dad with tiny little claw feet.
An angry little dad.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen
I'll
because
be
you don't go
better.
out for a
I'll
walk.
be better.
Will you though? Final 2. Leaving the door open when you go for a piss.
I don't.
You do it all the time.
Oh my god.
You did it literally, yes, every time. I walk
don't.
into the bed. If you're in the bedroom and I'm in the bedroom, if you're like, okay, kids, time to get ready for school, they're going off and playing their bedroom or whatever. if I haven't
Hang on,
been
when you say
prepared
by
myself.
open, as in like, I don't shut it and lock it, but
No,
it's
the door's
closed.
open.
No,
It
it's
is not. You are literally there.
I think you've got some sick fantasy going on.
No, I
because
have
I am
not.
telling
You-
you.
you sit
no,
there.
I am
Right, do you know
telling
what I'm
you.
doing?
Do you know what, next time you take a screenshot.
I'm gonna.
Take a photo.
I'm actually gonna.
Okay.
The next time you do it,
You're gonna.
I'm videoing it
And I'll
on
take
Instagram
one.
Live.
Next time you do Road Rage, I'll take a video of that.
I don't
That'd
care.
Be fun, wouldn't
That's
it?
fine.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
That's
That'd
fine,
be fun, wouldn't it?
dickhead. Final one then.
Fuck off.
How loud you talk at night? So we live in a house. You haven't really. It's weird. Like the staircase is all like open, and
Not weird,
and
it's
the
just an
living
open
room.
house.
Okay.
It's not weird.
That's another thing. I'm having an 11.
All
Just
right,
your
sorry.
general persona.
Carry
Anyway, so I came home last night and get in about 9 o'clock because I do so much exercise.
Because he's in beast mode.
And then
He's in beast mode, everyone.
Then Hayes like, oh, guess what happened today with a client? So I had a call with a client, and they said that they wanted to do some content from Orange Lamb. I'm like, no wonder the kids don't fucking stay asleep.
Just
Talk too loud.
it's because I'm so used to being a podcast legend that I'm just like, you know,
God.
I have to speak up. People-
Anyway.
If I talk, people want to hear.
Oh,
Does that
do
make
they?
sense?
Do
so I'm
they?
just so used to projecting my voice.
But guess what?
What?
Change it. Turn and face the strange.
See what I mean?
What? That was good.
Change it.
Changes.
What's wrong with that? That's lovely.
Do it without a cappella.
Hang on.
A cappella.
Change it. Turn and face the strange.
Changes.
What's wrong with that?
Maybe.
That was very nice.
Maybe
There you
I'll
go.
let
Anyway,
have that one.
Everything changes, but you.
do you know what though? On a serious level, other than these 10 things, I wouldn't change anything about you. I think you're my dream woman.
That's a fucking lie.
But I actually really like you.
I do really.
I love you and I like
said
you.
love you. Oh, I
Yeah,
do.
but I love and like you. Like
I
I,
miss you,
I
and that's
like.
the thing. When
I
I'm like
like who
saying
you are.
about when I go on about you doing all this exercise and not being here, it's because I actually just miss you.
Yeah, but all you're doing is working at night
But
anyway.
I'm not always working. I've sat watched films. I watched that really depressing film the other night because you.
Oh
weren't
God,
here.
yeah, that was bad.
That I was not expecting.
You were
the
actually
ending.
sobbing.
Well, I thought it was just going to be like a
like,
romantic
he just
sort of
dies.
easy film, and there's a guy basically dies.
But like, she was sobbing.
yeah, it was
Actually
sad.
sobbing.
Sad.
I was like,
Anyway.
wow, okay.
I love you. I love you, bye.
I love you and I like you.
Oh, well, thanks for listening, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
person.
Everything changes.
But
you.
embrace it.
Embrace it, potentially.
Embrace the change.
There's great things that could come from change. Change can feel unsettling. The fear of the unknown could lead you to feeling a little bit anxious or having a sense of anxiety. But do you know what? You're going to get through this.
You are.
You got this.
You got it.
You got this.
Baby.
You got this. And change can develop and grow beautiful things. If you didn't have shit and manure, you wouldn't get flowers. Good motivational talk or what?
Love it.
Yeah.
No.
If you have enjoyed this episode of the podcast, please feel free to. Do you know what I'd love you to do? Do us a favour. Just tell one person.
Oh,
Don't
yeah,
share it on your
love
socials.
that.
Don't click. Don't leave a review.
Just
share
be
it
like,
with someone.
Hey, have you listened to this absolutely hilarious podcast that comes out every Tuesday? And you can listen to it on Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you listen
Gwaggle?
to your podcast.
Gwaggle? You can listen to it on Gwaggle. Check out this podcast on Gwaggle. Hey, have you heard this podcast? It's on Gwaggle.
Why are you Irish?
I don't know. I always go Irish when I do an impression. See you next week on the Business Marriage Podcast. You get it Apple, Spotify, and Gwaggle.
This show is a Phonic Media production.